Ethereum takes a little bit of a dip down towards the $2,100 mark. Can it hold that? If it can hold it, where's it going to go? In today's episode, we're going to look at Ethereum latest chart analysis to see what is playing out and is going to happen very, very soon. I think a big move is on the horizon. Hello guys, and welcome to the House of Crypto. I make videos on Ethereum as well as other cryptocurrencies. If you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that like button and hit the subscribe notification bell to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in the Ethereum charts as well as other cryptocurrencies. Without further ado then, let's jump into the Ethereum charts for today. Well guys, as we looked yesterday at the charts, we were coming up and we saw us get a little bit of rejection here, and we looked. You can kind of see it, this is on the 4-hour chart, but on the 1-hour chart we had this rising wedge pattern, and I did say that this would potentially drop out the bottom, and as we saw, it did do that, and what we've seen is it come down and retest this level down here, and I've seen a lot of fear going on in the market right now, and I think possibly because what we've seen in the past where we have been kind of faked out and it has come back around, there's always the potential that that might happen, but ultimately what we do always like to see is a come out before coming back for a retest and another move back towards the upside. What we can see right now on the 4 hours, we've got the 100 moving average dipping just along here, and we're finding that this has now become support. Okay, so you can see these wicks coming down below, which perfectly comes into line with this falling channel pattern here. And something else I want to look at, and before we jump over to the Bitcoin chart, taking the Fibonacci tool from our swing low back here a few days ago all the way up to the recent swing high, we can see that we've got the 0.236 and we've come and we wicked down twice through that, but you know, we've now pushed towards higher highs. This area up here is obviously significant. You know, we've come up and we found resistance here a couple of times, and this is where our kind of key area is that we really need to break if we're going to see. And the reason for that, guys, if you look sort of above the $2,230 level, up to around the sort of $2,900 level. Look at this. Look at the amount of orders that have been going on in this area. It's obviously not going to be an easy period to break through, but if we can maintain support here, you can feel that there's more energy in the market at the moment. You can feel that there's a lot more people coming into the market. Things are looking a lot more promising than they were perhaps more recently. However, you know, looking down here, we can still see that the volume isn't particularly great, and we are seeing a little bit of a volume increase, but we need to see perhaps more of a volume increase if we are to get through these sort of stubborn or more stubborn resistance zones. If we take a Fibonacci retracement from the top all the way down to this swing low down here, you can see that probably our next area or next zone to get through, if we do break through, will be around the 0.236 on the way up, which would be around something like the $2,350 level. So it will be interesting to see whether we're going to hold above this orange line. In the short term, if we hold above this orange line, we are going to be moving back towards the upside, in my opinion. If, however, we do not maintain this position above the orange line, then things are going to look very, very scary, where I think we will probably take a drop back down to the downside, and by which point we kind of run out of room and we could be taking a drop through. But ultimately, if we can hold this, break above here, then we are moving back towards the top of this pattern, which was obviously going to take some time. It's not going to be an overnight move. Bearing in mind this is a 4-hour chart, we've been in this sort of downtrend for weeks and weeks, and we are looking to turn it around. We've got this big W pattern here as well, which obviously would take us back above this 0.236 should everything play out. And quickly looking at the Bitcoin chart, obviously, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum go hand in hand, and we're seeing something great happening on the Bitcoin chart. This falling channel pattern has been happening for almost, you know, the best part of a month, and we've taken this dip down, and you know, we're sort of perfectly holding this now as support. We've come down and we've touched the 20 moving average, and potentially, you know, we then have to move up through the next sort of moving averages if we are going to be sort of testing it. But in terms of the breakout, where we would go from this sort of W pattern here that we're seeing, you know, we've come back and we've retested it, that would then take us to around the sort of $41,000 level, which, as you can see, you know, in the past has proved to be a tricky area to get through over the last sort of couple of weeks or so. So it's going to be interesting to see whether Bitcoin can get above that level. But what I talked about on yesterday's video, which I'll link to the end of this one, is what's happening in the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart with that huge rounded cup and saucer pattern, which could potentially see Ethereum rising to 15% of the value of Bitcoin. Guys, what I want to jump onto now, where the market's being a bit sort of sketchy and not moving around particularly quickly, something that has been moving really quickly, and I've been talking about it quite a lot on this channel, is Emerald Rockets, right? Emerald Rockets, I've been talking around for a while, guys. It launched about a couple of months ago for 1 cent a coin. Yesterday was around 6 cents, and it's gone up 100% overnight to currently sat around 12.9. Basically, what the cryptocurrency is, it's a utility token that is all based around something called tuition brokers, which is like the Expedia of education, or online education for the masses, solving the kind of student debt problem, etc. So I think it's a really great project. Bearing in mind, I understand how much debt, etc. students are in, and I don't obviously think there's a huge problem to solve, and these guys are looking to do that. And obviously we've had a huge outbreak around the world of COVID-19, and unfortunately things are looking like they're resurfacing in a number of different areas around the world, which is obviously not very good for people, but ultimately for the online education space, it actually probably is quite a good market, bearing in mind that lots of people won't be able to travel but still need to receive education, etc. This has allowed them to launch the kind of second phase, or the second version of their platform, which is going to have way more courses, like 1,000 courses, to now over 100,000 courses. They've also got a number of big investors who've been putting money in as well. So I think in terms of the next 6 months to a year is a bit of a no-brainer in terms of where things are going. The price at the moment is currently sat around 12 cents. It has been up to around 30 cents, but that obviously was around the time when we had Ethereum at sort of 4,500, Bitcoin flying as well. So at the moment I can see potentially huge gains to be made in Emerald Rockets. You can go and buy Emerald Rockets over on SushiSwap.com. I'll leave a link for the code which you need to put into SushiSwap in order to be able to buy Emerald Rockets. If you go over to the website, which I'll also leave a link for down in the description, there's a few videos on the there's a few videos available, all made by the sort of CEO Matt Byron, who explains things extremely well in layman terms, so you can understand exactly all about the project and gain a bit more knowledge about making potentially a great investment in something that I think is a really exciting project. Guys, let me know down below what you think is happening with the Ethereum price, as well as whether you are already holding Emerald Rockets or whether you're interested in the project. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of the latest happening in Ethereum, other cryptocurrencies, ICOs, etc. And if you haven't done already, please smash that like button. It really helps me to get this content to more and more people. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you again tomorrow with another video. Bye bye.